Right now I'm working on a couple of things, but really the same thing, different attacks of them, which is audio over the internet in real time, which is my passion at the moment and has been for a few years now, and it's really becoming something that I just want to do all the time. So I'm writing some new software that will allow us to use the internet in real time as artists, which I'm really enjoying. It's coming together really nicely, and I'm able to start using it myself in my own projects, which is, you know, always the first place you want to do that. If you write software, you should be able to use it yourself. And then also working on the theoretical base, how to present it, you know, how to frame it, how to explain why it's needed, you know, why I think the software is important. Because when you make something, you sort of build something in a vacuum. You think, oh, this is really cool, this is just what I need. But I think, is this just what I need? Or am I building this and it's going to be useful, you know, outside of myself? That I don't know yet, we'll find out. I know what my least favorite part is, the testing. The testing and all the bug fixing and all of the making it work on different systems, and that part I don't like. So the part I do like is the initial period at the very beginning when you're not sure if what you can do is possible or not. Maybe you don't know if you can do it fast enough. Maybe you don't know if you can get it working well enough to suit, you know, the requirements. Maybe the idea you had, once you do it, you're like, oh, well, that was actually really boring. It's the same as anything that you make, really. Yeah, but then the most scary part is the day when you start showing it to other people. Yeah, which can also be the most fun part if it goes well. So far it's going well. You know, I just happen to be born a woman, which I think is really cool. I really enjoy that. It's a fun thing to be. So the fact that I also am a woman in technology, of which there's not many of, and of which I'm fairly happy to be vocal about my position, and I'm fairly happy to be public about my position. Those are my choices. My choice was not to be born a woman, and my choice was not to go into technology. I don't believe I had a choice in that. I think that was always going to happen since I was young. It was inevitable. I was going to be in music and I was going to be in technology. So what I did choose, and what I have chosen, and what I'm choosing more to do, is to make it easier for the women who come after me to make their lives less complicated. Because it was a bit, when I was younger, it was a bit complicated. Being a woman, you know, say 20 years ago on the internet, many times it was just easier to pretend to be a man, or pretend to be a man, pretending to be a woman, pretend to be a man, or all manner of those things. But playing with identity seemed to be an easy way to sort of get around the question of making it obvious that it's not important, that that's not the important thing, that the important thing is how much passion do you have for what you do, how much do you enjoy sharing with other people what you do. So if I look back to what I would have needed back then to have made it a little bit easier, one of those things is money. I think money is really, really important. I did not have much of it when I was a young woman, which is in many ways great, because, you know, I had to build my own PCs and install Linux, and all of those things that I, you know, got to do were fantastic because I couldn't afford new things, and also to be resourceful. But there were also times when I could have used maybe a bit more help than I got. and it wasn't that that help wasn't available, it was that maybe I didn't know how to ask for it, because there were definitely times when I felt that I wasn't allowed to. That somehow I had to arrive already knowing, even just to ask the question, which is kind of offensive when I think about it now, you know? Like even asking the question seemed to be a problem. So I like to help. I work with other young women, and I have a scholarship in New Zealand, and we've just launched a scholarship in my business as well, a new diversity scholarship that I'm announcing tomorrow. And so that just by doing that allows women to ask why, you know, to ask questions, just to say, I'm not sure if this is for me, I don't know if this is the path I want, but you should be able to ask that, you know, you should be able to feel free and feel safe to go in and just to find out if this is the direction you want to go in. And yeah.